everybody! It is once again I, to Asamaj7, about to begin a playthrough of the Korona route, the third video of Korona's route. In the last video that I created, we got all the way through where Korona confessed to Aki, and at the end of the last video, Aki confessed back. So they are now boyfriend and girlfriend, and this should be the first day after the two of them started dating. So let's go ahead and get started on the story and see where it takes us. Look at this, Aki, is what she said. I see, there were plenty of people doing it by themselves. Korona was using her tablet to look up information about radio wave observations, which coming into this video, that without knowing what they were talking about, that was a really bad statement. Anyway, then we found out that there were many astronomy fans who were doing radio wave observations on their own.
でもこれ、宇宙からの電波を受信するのとは全然違うみたいだね。
I think that's because you need to have a parabolic dish like the ones at Nobiyama.
そっか。
She looked rather disappointed, but she soon bounced back.
でも、こっちだって電波観測は電波観測だよ。流れ星を電波で観測するのか。なんだかロマンチックだね。
What we had found were radio meteor observations. We read about a school teacher who transmitted radio waves into space at a certain frequency for 24 consistent hours. Nothing happened during transmission, but if the signal would hit a meteor, then it would bounce back and they would get feedback. Once putting together all the collected data, you could be able to extrapolate information about the meteors. This was how radio observations worked. There is a lot of data here on how to do this by ourselves.
必要な機材もそんなに高くないみたい。
If we get the right items, we could make the insurmountable price of astronomy into something fairly cheap. A good equatorial mount, if you were to buy one, was a surprising amount of money. The equatorial at Maiku is quite expensive, so you should be careful around it.
ああ、そうなんだ。いつも部室に適当に置いてあるけど。
That might be because they don't know how expensive it really is. I'm sure that they would be more careful with it if they knew the cost.
じゃあ、コロナは後でこっそり教えておくね。
It wasn't something that you could just replace if you broke it. I almost wanted to say something about it myself. We're kind of digressed, but now we know that it's possible to do radio wave observations by ourselves.
コロナにもできそう？
This? Yes, but it might be kind of hard for just the two of us. So why don't we ask the rest of the Six Stars Club for help?
賛成！こういうのはみんなでやった方が楽しいしね。
There was no reason for us to try the impossible by ourselves. It would be better if we all worked together toward the one goal. Korona had helped only a little with the construction of the Pallades 1, so this would be her first real group project.
やばい。考えるだけでワクワクしてきた。こういうのがコロナが求めたものなのかな。
Not yet. The fun is just starting.
これ以上楽しくなったらコロナ死んじゃうよ。
I almost felt like calling out everyone to get started right away. The anticipation was killing me. Our February meeting is coming up, so I'll bring this up during then.
それコロナがしちゃダメ？やってみたいんだけど。
Sorry, you're right. You should do everything that you want to do. It was my turn to support her. Think together, worry together, and sweat together. I would support anything she wanted to do, walk with her and share her in her pain and joy.
あきに、ありがとう。なんだかいい感触だね。今からもう楽しくなっちゃってる。
Well, are you starting to get passionate?
まだわかんない。でも、多分うまくいくかなって。コロナ、ずっとそういうのないって思ってた。でも、昨日考えてみて気づいたんだ。勉強とか運動とか趣味とか、そういうのでは全然夢中になれなかった。でも一つだけ夢中になってるものがあったの。それはアキ兄だよ。初めて会った時からずっと夢中だった。 れだけは変わらなかったよ。アキ兄に恋して彼女にしてほしいなって思ってた。そのために努力もいっぱいした。ずっとコロナはアキ兄に夢中だったの。だから生きるのがつまらなくっても頑張れたんだろうね。きっと全部アキ兄に恋してたおかげだよ。
I see. So you were driven by something after all.
アキ兄の彼女にしてもらって、これでひとまずゴールは迎えたんだけど、まだ終わりじゃないんだよね。アキ兄とコロナの恋愛は始まったばかりなんだから。
As she smiled faintly, Korona grabbed my hand. She pulled me back lightly and we fell down.
この前は指だったけど、今度はアキ兄キスして。
We were in the same position as last time. Once again, she pursed her lips toward me. Her lips were all puckered up. And just like before, she was shaking a little. Hold still.
うん。
While I was on top of Korona, our lips touched. I could feel her shiver through her lips. I held the kiss a little more to help soothe her. I quietly kept it going until she calmed down.
アキ兄、これがキスなんだ。
It's my first time, too.
アキ兄もファーストキスだったの？
You know that I've never had a girlfriend before, right?
そうだね。コロナがアキ兄の初めてなんだ。
I wasn't sure if this was some kind of superiority complex or not, but I smiled.
コロナの初めてもアキ兄だよ。なんかいいね、こういうのって。
I think I understood how she felt. Now that I was going out with Korona, I had known that we would end up kissing. But now that it had actually happened, it was so exciting and I couldn't help but being happy.
アキ兄、もう一回。
Hi. We went for a second kiss after the first one ended. This time I tried to enjoy the kiss more as our lips touched. She wiggled around and it was a cute feeling. Touching, then separating, and then repeating. Korona seemed to be enjoying herself too. Before I got the chance to do anything else, she pushed herself onto me. It was said that the more you touch, the better, so I went right for it.
好き。
It seemed like she was using that perfume again today, too, and her fragrance was floating in the air. It was like my body was getting hotter with the excitement, and the smell of the fragrance became stronger. Korona's familiar scent was slightly mixing with that perfume. Standing on her toes like an adult made her really seem like a grown woman to me. Korona, wait. She got up from my arms so that she could get some distance.
アキ兄、
I'm sorry for getting so carried away.
調子に乗ってもいいと思うんだけど。コロナたち恋人同士なんだよ。キスしてドキドキするのは当然だよ。それともアキ兄はコロナとキスするの嫌？
It's not that. Actually, I was just thinking that I wanted to kiss some more.
コロナはもっとキスしたいよ。ね、アキ兄も同じ気持ちなら、もうためらう理由なんてないよね。
She closed the gap between us. Close enough that I could touch her face. No, close enough for our lips to touch.
今度はコロナからしていい？
Hi.
やった。じゃあ目を閉じてじっとしてね。
I closed my eyes just as Korona had asked. My vision was gone and I became just a little nervous.
アキ兄、コロナはここだよ。
touched my hand. She rubbed it and held it like she was telling me that she was there.
では改めてチューをするので。自分からするのってドキドキするね。キスマッチモードの秋になんか可愛いし。
I'll open my eyes if you're just going to tease me.
ちょ待ってちゃんとするから。
Korona was freaking out from my warning as she hugged me. She didn't give me more time to enjoy our touch as she kissed me. There was no distance between us now. When I opened my eyes, Korona's face was right in front of mine. She wasn't used to kissing yet and was forcing it. I wasn't used to it either, but seeing Korona try so hard made me feel somewhat at ease. As she was telling me how she felt using everything, not just her lips, I held her tightly, taking those emotions in. Was that too hard?
そんなことないけど、そこまで情熱的にキューってしてくれるなんて思ってなかったから。
Korona, you're so cute that I want to hold you tightly.
嘘だ。
I started dating you because I thought that you were cute.
そうか、それもそうだよね。
She accepted my explanation, but I kept on holding her in my arms. So, can I lead next time?
秋にからってことは、つまりあれでそれなやつ？
I'm not really sure what that is, but if it's me kissing you, then...
それで正解。秋にがコロナにキスしてくれるってやつ。
Well, how about it?
コロナはいつでもウェルカムだよ。いついかなる時でも秋にはコロナにキスしていいからね。
Well, I can't imagine absolutely any time would be okay.
それでもなの。それくらいコロナは秋にとキスしたいんだから。もうあんまりからかうならこっちから襲うよ。秋にの唇奪いまくっちゃうんだから。
Korona was messing around and starting to say all kinds of things. Maybe she would try to mark her territory on my lips. Well, that does sound interesting. I'm going to kiss you first, though. I softly said as I kissed her. Just a minute ago, Korona was making a fuss, but she had become all quiet again. Her lips were like a switch to control her. She sweetly accepted the kiss in my arms. Just pressing our lips together was pleasant enough to begin, but it began to change. Touching and separating over and over again. We kept kissing as I tasted the softness of her lips. Korona would immediately go on the offensive when she thought that I was putting in more effort. That would continue for a while until we found our rhythm. Kissing feels so good.
カップルがチュッチュしまくるはずだよね。
Korona and I talked a bit as our lips were still wet from the makeout session. What should we do? And do you want to make out some more?
今日はこのくらいにしとこう。
Korona, who was always on the offensive, was pulling back for a change.
あ、コロナらしくないって一瞬思ったでしょ。
You figured me out?
もうコロナだってそこまでグイグイ系じゃないんだからね。まあ本音を言えばもっと秋にとキスしたいんだけど、ほら調子に乗ってしすぎて唇がプーって腫れたら嫌だし、今日はこのくらいにしといてやるかと。これ以上唇を酷使するのは勘弁してあげることにしました。ってことでまた明日キスしようね。
Only if you don't forget.
じゃあメモる。絶対秋にとキスするってアプリに書いとくから。
Yeah, we both better never forget. I laughed as I wrote it down on my calendar for tomorrow.
カレンダーに直接書いちゃう？
I won't forget this way.
コロナでもできないことを堂々と。気に入ってばやるな。
That's because nobody's going to see this here.
そっか。この部屋に入れるのはコロナだけか。
Oh well, Miss Mahara might come in.
絶対入れないでね。恥ずかしいから。
Okay then. Our relationship changed a lot after we started dating and kissing. But we could still chat like this after so much change. Our relationship had only improved as we moved one step forward. I wondered what would happen to Korona and I in the future. I couldn't even begin to imagine.
恋愛っていいね、アキニ。
There were sure to be fun days ahead of us. The most exciting future was waiting for us. We were confirming our love for each other by kissing. But reality was cruel, and we felt how truly cold this room was without any substantial heater.
うわ、寒っ。冬はすぐに体冷えちゃうね。
Let's go under the kotatsu.
はーい。お邪魔します。
She naturally came to where I was sitting.
もうちょっと場所を空けて。
She sat in between my legs.
やった、大成功。これは小柄じゃなきゃできない芸当だよね。
Still pushing limits even though you're small.
いいからいいから、もっとギュッてして。
Seriously, what am I gonna do with you? I held Korona. Her body was so soft that I wanted to hold her like this forever. The fragrance from the nape of her neck got my heart racing.
ドキドキしちゃった？
Don't read my mind.
コロナの首筋ペロペロしてもいいよ。
I won't. Just what kind of pervert was she think I was licking necks?
でもこの体勢だとチューしづらいし。
You're the one who said that we'd kiss tomorrow.
だからね、キス以外の形でイチャイチャできればなって思いまして。
So she was saying that we weren't acting like a couple enough for her? I guess it couldn't be helped. Maybe she'd gotten greedy because she'd held back her feelings for so long.
アキニー、ほらほら。
Don't move your butt like that. Seriously, my girlfriend was such a little devil. She'd been trying to provoke me this entire time. Sit still or I won't hold you anymore.
じっとしてます。はい。
She immediately stopped moving and calmed down. Geez, you're so calculating.
だって、アキニーの抱っこ以上にいいことなんてないもん。はあ、ほにゃほにゃする。
We just sat together like that, enjoying the warmth of the kotatsu. Korona was comfy beyond words. We spent about an hour fooling around under the kotatsu until we had to leave.
とっさに動けない。
Over here, Korona. I drew Korona close to protect her from kotatsu.
これはラッキーだ。
Are you okay?
アキニーのおかげなのです。
She puckered up, begging for a kiss. Don't get carried away. We had said we wouldn't, but I couldn't help it and gave her one more kiss.
そんなこと言ってちゃんとキスしてくれた。アキニーってそういうとこ優しいよね。
Don't think that, or I'll do this. Don't think that I'll do this just for anybody.
分かってるって。コロナはもう特別だもんね。
As long as you know that. Now come on, the bus is here. We had left my room right on time for the Hoshino bus to arrive.
もっとイチャイチャしてたいのに。
We'll leave that for another time. We're going to see each other tomorrow, so let's leave it for then.
はーい。それじゃあアキニー、またね。おやすみなさい。
She blew me a kiss and got on the bus. She waved to me through the window until I couldn't see her anymore. I couldn't stop the feeling of joy growing within me.
ナはやってみたいことがあります。流星電波観測というやつです。流れ星が落ちてくるのを電波でキャッチするんです。でもコロナ一人じゃ大変です。皆さん、よければ協力してください。
Korona had invited everyone for a Six Stars Club meeting. We were going to have a meeting at the end of February, but the schedule got moved around so that we could have the meeting today.
それではむつら星の会第2回定例会を開催します。
Hanukkah, the new president, made the announcement at the meeting started.
ではまずはじめに皆さんもご存知かと思いますが、日坂部コロナさんから一つ提案がなされました。ではコロナさん、みんなの前で改めて説明をお願いします。
皆さんこんにちは、日坂部コロナです。
She stood up and greeted everybody. She bowed like a spring and got right into it.
この前、延山の話をみんなでしたと思いますが、コロナは目に見えないものを調べる電波観測に興味を持ちました。宇宙から飛んでくる電波はコロナたちみたいな個人の天文ファンでは設備的にとても手が出ません。でも電波観測というだけだったら個人でもできるものがあるそうです。それが流星電波観測です。流れ星にぶつかった電波が跳ね返ってきたのを地上でキャッチするんです。流れ星はお天気が良くないと見れません。昼間でもダメです。でも電波観測ならそういう心配はいらないんです。あんまり派手じゃないみたいだけど、コロナは面白そうだなって思いました。だからやってみたいです。むつら星のみんなもよかったらコロナと一緒にやってみませんか？
She started with an explanation, then her plan, and then right into her opinion. After she finished talking, we waited for everyone's opinion.
勝手にコロナちゃんと言えたかな？これでちゃんと伝わった？
Yep, you can tell from their looks. There was no way that we wouldn't get interested in radio wave observations. I had thought that it was something that you could only do at observatories. But it wasn't so, and even an amateur could try it. So, of course, everyone would be on board with such a dreamlike idea.
流星電波観測か、面白そうじゃないか。流れ星に跳ね返る？よくわかりませんが気になりますね。
うちは工業系ですから、機材の作成や設置では力になれると思います。
目で見るのとは違うんだよね。どんな風なんだろう。
どうやらケツを取るまでもなさそうね。はい、そのようです。
Oderheimi and Hanukkah smiled at each other.
コロナさん、流星電波観測をしたいというあなたの提案にむつら星の会は参加を表明します。忙しい時期だからと大きな活動予定を入れていなかったのが幸いしたわね。皆さんも無理をしない範囲で参加してください。陣頭指揮はコロナさん、お願いしますね。
はい、頑張ります。
I'll help support Korona, so please let me know if there's anything that's needed.
早くも彼氏さんが頑張るみたいね。結構なことだわ。
Wait, you know? I was planning on telling everyone after the meeting had ended.
ごめん、さやちゃんにだけ報告しちゃった。あれって内緒の話だったの？私、光に話しちゃったけど。私はほうき星さんから聞きました。ビッグニュースだーって。
私はあれだ、コロナの兄貴から聞いた。
あ、もしかしてなるちゃん、うちのお兄ちゃんと付き合ってるの？
付き合ってない。最近ちょっと話をしてるって程度だよ。私のことはどうでもいいだろ。今はコロナと空見くんがくっついたことが大事なんだ。
She panicked and changed the focus back to us when people were talking about her. And now that everybody knows, Korona and I have started dating.
よろしくお願いします。
I was embarrassed announcing our relationship, but these were good friends with us. Everyone here was happy for us.
流星電波観測 則についていろいろ調べてみたんだ。ブックマークしてあるからみんなも見てね。
Korona sent everybody the link. Everyone began checking their devices.
ここなんて画像付きで詳しく紹介されているよね。アンテナを設置するんですか。
大変そう？
大変ではないと思います。ただ場所が問題ですね。むつら星でやるならここを提供するつもりだったけど、さすがに許可が下りないわ。
名工の校舎おしゃれですもんね。
It didn't seem likely that Maiku would let us put up an antenna on one of their buildings.
そういう意味ではうちも無理だと思います。生鮮女子さんはうちより厳しそうですから。
あの塔は遠くて皆さん不便でしょうし、候補から外した方がいいですね。
うちなら大丈夫だと思いますよ。機材も借りられますし、都合はいいかと。
Morrow High was an engineering school, so it'd be a good fit.
コロナは星野第一がいいな。あそこなら知ってるし、お兄ちゃんもいるから、お母さんを説得させやすいし。
コロナさんの都合を考えると、諸見沢工業さんは避けた方が良さそうね。
ですね。うちはこわもての連中も多いですから。
アキトくんが OK なら星野第一にしようよ。どうかな、アキミ。
I'm 100% okay with it. Our school is pretty much okay with anything, so I'm sure we'll get permission. So much that you could even live there. I didn't think they'd bat an eye at one or two antennas.
では場所は星野第一さんにお願いします。許可が取れ次第全員に連絡をしてください。
Got it. It was still preliminary, but we were going to do the radio wave meteor observations in our school's club room. Next, we needed to make a list of what was needed and how to do it. Thankfully, the website we found had everything written down in detail on their homepage. So us amateurs decided to follow those directions to the letter this time around.
アンテナ設置のための材料はいくつかこちらで提供できると思います。
That helps. We don't really have anything like that here.
ただ新規で買うものも結構あるでしょうね。近いうちに買い出しに行きましょう。
この HRO 専用受信機という機材だけは取り寄せないと入手できそうにないわね。
HRO was short for ham-based radio observation. It was important for radio observations that we were trying to do.
価格は2万円もしないようですね。取り寄せに時間がかかると思いますので、すぐに手配しましょう。
お金はどうするの？それくらいだったらコロナ出せるけど。
いえ、これはもうむつら星の会の活動ですから、きちんと会費から出させていただきます。機材もろもろ合わせても結構安くできるんだな。こっちとしては大助かりだよ。
Naru looked at Orihime like that meant something.
その説は申し訳なかったと反省しておりますわ。お金を出し合って望遠鏡を買おうだなんて。分かってるよ。姫さんのあれがなけりゃドブソニアンを作ろうなんて話にもならなかったんだし。結果オーライということで手を打ちましょう。了解だ。
The Six Stars Club had only just managed to stay together when it was first formed, but now we are able to joke around with each other. It had only been half a year since then, but everyone had grown close.
いいな、そういうの。
I'm sure that if you work hard too, Korona, you'll be like that with everyone too.
だよね。コロナもみんなみたいになれるよね。
頑張りましょう。一緒に。
We had never let Korona join the Mikuzaki Astronomy Club, so Korona hadn't been able to help out with the construction of the Dobsonian telescope. This time she would be participating in full, and not only that, she would be an actual member of the group.
コロナもみんなの仲間だよ。嬉しいな。
She said it cheerfully, yet quietly so that no one would hear. Her dream of making friends had finally come true. I understood that joy just a little too much. Well, I'll send Korona home then.
よろしくお願いするわね。
じゃあね姫ちゃん、ほなほな。
It was dark out when the Six Stars Club meeting ended. Based on today's discussion, we were going to prepare for radio observations of the meteors. Okay, let's head out. I didn't expect today to turn out like this, so I left my bike at home. Korona and I took the bus to the nearest bus stop.
これからやること盛りだくさんだ。
Korona sounded pleased looking at the list on her phone. It'll be fun.
コロナ頑張るぞ。
Don't go overboard though.
分かってるって。その辺はアキ兄がちゃんと見ててくれるんでしょ。は
I will, but you have to look out for yourself too.
ーい。
My words of caution just seemed to fall on deaf ears. I understood how she felt, but it looked like I had to keep a close eye on her. On Saturday afternoon, we were in my room making a list of the equipment we needed.
HRO 受信機先方より返信ありました。発注日より10日ほどで納品されるそうです。送り先は星野第一天文部にしておきました。空見くんは受け取りをお願いします。
Got it! I replied to Hanukkah in our group chat. That settled the HRO receiver, which was critical for radio meteor observation. All we had to do now was get the other equipment ready before it arrived.
アンテナと線はどちらも無理でしたが、DC 電源とアダプタを固定するための金具は用意できます。
やっぱりアンテナはダメか。
I'm not surprised. Both the receiver and antenna are specialized equipment, and they're not cheap. I knew our chances of getting the antenna were slim. Morrow High was a technical school, but that didn't mean we could use anything we wanted.
アキ兄、買い出しリストはこんな感じかな。
We listed out what we needed, and then struck out the items that we already had. The Archer O receiver is on its way, and Kaisuke's bringing the adapter and fittings.
アンテナって普通に売ってるのかな。
A large hardware store would have them, I think. If not, we'll have to order one.
あとはアンテナ用の支柱でしょ。アンテナ線でしょ。消耗品として針金とビニールテープあたりかな。観測データを表示するパソコンはここにあるやつを使ってもいいの？
That was my intention. It was an astronomy club property, so leaving it connected by cable wouldn't be a problem. Let's have a battery pack on standby too. It'd be nice to have the option of going outdoors. Our plan was to fix the antenna indoors for a stationary observation, but I wanted to be able to bring it outside too. It's much more exciting if we see the meteor shower with our own eyes at the same time as the radio observation.
おお、確かにそれはすごそう。
Radio observation doesn't look like much, but during meteor showers it's quite impressive apparently. Normally the screen only showed tiny reactions, but a meteor shower was a different story. Major reactions were called long echoes, and they were going to be the highlight of the evening. Oh, right, what about audio?
音？
The meteor's reactions can be picked up as sounds too, something like a boom apparently.
音もぜひ。
Got it. Then we'll need to prepare speakers and cables too. That was all we needed, probably. If something else came up, we would just have to go out and buy it. All right, let's go shopping.
ああ。
We boarded the bus for Hoshino Station. There was a large hardware store a few shops down.
ねえアキ兄、アンテナって電気屋さんに置いてないかな。
No idea. We'll have to go to find out.
ハーバータウンに大きい店入ってたよね。100円ショップもあったし、先にそっちを見てみない？
I'm fine either way, but the hardware store would be a better bet, right?
実は買い出しにかこつけて、アキ兄とまたハーバータウンでデートしたいなって。
Then you should have just said so. Okay, let's make it a date, but we have to get this shopping done, too.
やったーありがとうアッキー愛してる
Even though we were still on the bus, Korona came flying at me for a hug. The other passengers didn't notice. They probably thought she was just an energetic child.
もう兄と妹がじゃれ合ってる風に見られてる気がするアッキーチューしよう恋人だってとこ見せつけちゃおうよ
No, that's a bad idea.
でもコロナ子供扱いされてるんだよ向かってこない
It's a little annoying, to be honest. Korona wasn't a child. She was my full-grown girlfriend. Okay, just a peck. I gave her a quick kiss on the cheek. It's not like I can kiss you on the lips here on the bus.
まさかおきにがチュッてしてくれるとは思わなかった
Was it that surprising?
びっくりするって人前なんだよほっぺにだって普通キスしないよ
But you were the one who wanted to do it.
でも嬉しかったよありがとねお返しにコロナも
Korona kissed me on the cheek as well. Honestly, kissing each other in public was kind of embarrassing for both of us.
キスしちゃった恥ずかしいね
You think so too, huh? So there was no reason to do it again, right?
コロナ癖になっちゃうかも
The color rising in her cheeks, Korona gave me a full look of emotion.
ハーバータウン再び
Here we were, back in Harbour Town.
うわーやっぱしみなぎってくるね
Korona, you're getting too excited.
アキニーが落ち着きすぎてるんだって普通もっとこううわーってなるよ
I guess so. I didn't get it, unfortunately.
うわーってなっちゃうようなことする
I get the feeling that linking arms wouldn't be enough this time. Since we started dating, Corona's excessive need for physical contact had only escalated. Holding arms, linking arms, those were a given. And it seemed that now even a kiss on the cheek was okay.
じゃあどうしようアキニーをドキドキさせたいよ
Just be natural. We'll have fun like a normal couple. I pulled Korona to me and hugged her.
アキニー
Come on, let's go. Fun awaits us at every corner, right? Usually I was the one caught off guard, but sometimes I had to give Korona a taste of her own medicine.
アキニーからキュッてされちゃったたまにはされる方も悪くないよね
Korona seemed satisfied. I wanted to do whatever I could to make this a really fun date for her. The large electronics store didn't have the antenna we were looking for. They had TV ones, but we needed something called a two-element antenna for the radio meteor observation. The elements were two rods next to each other, forming an H-shaped antenna.
アンテナ無理だったね
We could try the hardware store, but that guy told us that we'd be safer to order from a specialist store.
ああいうのはアマチュア無線の領域みたいだししょうがないよ
To begin with, radio meteor observation wasn't clearly in that realm. It required knowledge about radios rather than astronomy.
でも電気屋さんは無駄じゃなかったよスピーカーとコードが安く買えたもん
We also bought the pole mount and the cable for the antenna.
ビニールテープと針金は100円ショップで買えばいいしあとはなんだっけ
Korona took out her phone to check the shopping list.
電池ボックスかさすがに100円ショップには置いてないよね
It might not be in the hardware store either. It's kind of specialized. The battery pack we needed was a kind of container for multiple D batteries. It could be used as an outdoor power source. With it, we'd have enough power to a whole night of radio observation.
電池ボックスも通販かな
I'll discuss it with Kaisuke. It'll be safer if they place the order. We were bothering Kaisuke for a lot of things, but we could count on him as a fellow Six Stars Club member.
ってことは買い出しはこれで終了
Yep, we're done. We didn't have much to show for it, but we had found what we could. Continuing to search would only be a waste of time.
じゃあ、ここから先はデートしようよ。
Yep. It was Saturday, so Harbor Town was a much livelier place than usual. It was a good thing we weren't wearing our uniforms, so we could enjoy our date like a normal couple.
秋に屋台で何か買おう。コロナお腹空いちゃった。
We'd both had lunch, but looking at all this food made us hungry.
ドネルケバブだって。秋に食べたことある？
Yeah, just once. I remember it being pretty good.
お肉たっぷりで美味しそうだよね。でもやめた。せっかくだし、どっちも食べたことないのにしようよ。
In that case, how about that? I pointed at a sign for takoyaki rice crackers.
たこ焼きせんべい？何それ？たこ焼き味のおせんべいのことかな？
You don't know what they are? They're new to me too. Let's try some.
賛成！
We got in a line at the takoyaki rice cracker stand. Not that we had to wait long. Soon we had the crackers in hand.
おー、これがたこ焼きせんべい。
It was a single takoyaki sandwiched between two large shrimp rice crackers.
なんだか食べにくそうだね。こう、ギュッと押しつぶすようにして。はい、秋にお先どうぞ。
Me?
ちょっと心配で。
All right, fine.
はい、あーんして。
Korona held out the sandwich for me. After the crispness of the rice crackers came from the moist chewiness of the takoyaki.
どう？美味しい？
It's kinda... The two textures were interesting and the sauce blended well. It wasn't exactly a meal, but it was just the kind of snack you would expect from these food stands.
コロナも。はい、あーん。
This time I held out the sandwich for Korona.
ホクホクトロトロだ。
Not bad, huh?
秋兄に食べさせてもらうと格別だね。
A change in mood changes how things taste, huh?
本当に。うちのお兄ちゃんと食べたらきっとこんなに美味しくないもん。
Who you ate with was important too. Without Korona here, I would never be this excited.
さてと次は
We're still eating?
しょっぱいものを食べたら次は甘いものなのです。
I had a feeling that this cycle would continue. We walked around the food stands for a while more. After the gourmet tour, we went to the planetarium for a break from eating. It was dark inside the dome, and not long after the program started, Korona started to nod off. And she's asleep. Korona looked so cute, she slept. After all that walking and eating, she was probably exhausted. You know, you don't look strange at all when you sleep. She had said it bothered her, but I almost wanted to take a photo of her right now. And I would have too if we weren't in the planetarium.
ごめん、秋に。すっかり寝ちゃった。
As we left the planetarium, Korona looked dejected. It's okay, it shows how relaxed you were.
途中だったのに。
Maybe she'd planned on some hanky-panky while we were inside. Unfortunately, sleep prevailed. You looked cute when you slept. I didn't even watch the program.
それ困る。恥ずかしいよ。寝顔変じゃなかった？半分白目向いてたりしなかった？
Not at all. If we hadn't been in the planetarium, I'd have taken a photo as proof.
撮らなくていいから。
She really didn't want anyone to see her sleeping. I didn't take any photos, but she was still really embarrassed.
っていうか、秋にばっかずるいよ。コロナも寝顔見たい。
I don't know about that. Aside from summer camp, she wouldn't have any chance to see me sleep.
寝顔見たい。いいでしょ？
Sure, but where exactly do you intend to do so?
秋にの部屋。
In other words, real sleep, not just me dozing off at school or whatever. If you're that serious, I'm gonna pass. Besides, I'm not sleepy yet. It's gonna take a few hours, you know?
コロナ、お布団に入ったら即すやーなのに。
I'm jealous of how easily you sleep. And maybe I was a little sleepy, but I wouldn't be able to go to sleep straight away if Korona was watching me. Anyway, looking at me sleep will have to wait. Instead, I'll see you home.
はーい。
Korona looked disappointed, but in the end she understood. The HRO receiver and antenna were ordered separately, and the antenna arrived first. The receiver would have to wait a little longer, it seemed. We decided to set up the antenna before the receiver got here. Thanks for coming all the way.
いや、僕らの技術がお役に立つならこのくらいお安いご用ですよ。
Two Moro High students, Kaisuke and another club member, were here for the antenna setup.
うちの部員も話を聞いて気になってたんですよ。参加できると聞いて喜んでます。うっす、よろしくお願いします。
わあ、結構なこわもてだね。
そうっすか？すいません。
彼はこう見えて温和な詩人ですから、技術もあるので安心してください。
よろしくね。
うっす。
Korona was a little apprehensive, but he was with Kaisuke, so he should be fine. Plus, I heard that in technical schools, the order students were really tough on the younger ones.
まずは窓の確認をさせてください。
Kaisuke started by checking the windows.
どこかにアンテナ線を通す必要がありますが、どこにしましょう？
What do you mean?
一番手っ取り早いのは窓を完全に閉めないことですね。こう、サッシに挟むような感じで。
それだと鍵が閉められなくなっちゃうね。
学校のセキュリティ面で戸締まりが必須なのでしたら、この方法は使えません。
Are there others?
あとは、壁か窓に小さい穴を開けさせてもらって、そこを通す方法があります。
I don't know about that. Making holes in the wall probably wasn't a good idea. We had permission, more or less, to set up the antenna, but I didn't think that included damaging part of the school building.
エアコンの室外機につながる穴がありゃそこを使えるんだがな。
Sorry, this room doesn't have air conditioning.
見りゃわかるって気にすんな。
He had a rough way of speaking, but he seemed like a good guy.
部長、こいつはどうしますか？
空見さん、星野第一のセキュリティはどうだろう？施錠しないと具合が悪いですか？
I don't think so. As long as it isn't obvious, we should be fine.
では、上部の窓を使わせてもらうとしましょう。下は公務員さんも気にされるでしょうから。
部長、隙間用のテープ持ってきたっす。
お、助かる。
それは？
隙間を埋めるためのテープです。スポンジに粘着テープがついてましてね。
Kaisuke did a demonstration for us.
ケーブルを通す部分だけスポンジをカットするんです。
お
どうです？これで隙間風の心配もないでしょう。
Thanks, that looks good. That settled the position of the cable. I just had to tell one of the teachers later about the window being unlocked.
次にアンテナですね。
It only arrived yesterday, so we hadn't even opened the box yet to check it.
開けちまってもいいっすか？
Yes, thank you. Kaba Nakajima expertly undid the packaging with the paper cutter.
確かに 50MHz 対応のアンテナです。間違ってませんね。
The frequency used for radio meteor observation was 53.75 megahertz. So a 50 megahertz antenna would be able to pick up the required frequency without any issues.
では、アンテナの設置場所に案内していただけますか？
Got it. When I asked the school about putting up an antenna for the astronomy club, they had actually given us some space on the roof. That had really worked out well. The signal would be so much better on the roof compared to putting an antenna in our clubroom window. Here's the spot. We can use any part of the indicated space.
ここなら電波状況も良さそうですね。では、早速作業に入ります。
Without any delay, the two Moro High students started setting up the antenna. Kaisuke, if there's anything we can do to help.
そうですね。手が必要になりましたらその都度お願いしますので手伝ってください。
Got it.
コロナたちはあんまりお役に立てないっぽいね。
That's how it is. We aren't experts, so we just get in their way. These technical school guys, on the other hand, definitely were. Using their tools, they swiftly set up the antenna. We helped them out a bit by holding up the antenna, for example, but basically they did everything.
空見さん、部室の前にアンテナ線を垂らしますので、向こうで受け取ってもらえますか？
Sure. Korona and I went back to the club room.
線を垂らすって大丈夫なのかな？
I think he confirmed the window's position just now, so it'll be fine. Kaisuke was going to bring the cable to the side of the building where our room was and let it down.
アンテナ線行きます。
Suddenly, I got a text from Taisuke. And before I could reply, the antenna cable appeared outside the window.
どうしよう、結構遠いよ。
Let's get a hold of it with that stick or something. We found an umbrella in a corner of the room, which allowed us to snag the cable easily.
やった、取れたよ。
お、うまくいったみたいっすね。
He came down to help, apparently.
そんじゃアンテナ線を固定しますんで。
気をつけてね。
うっす。
He put the ladder they'd brought next to the window and nimbly climbed up it.
雨水用の排水管が脇にあるんで、そこにうまいことつけられそうっす。
Sticking his head out the window, he used the wiring to make sure the
ア
cable
ンテ
stayed
ナの
put.
設置も終わりました。後で確認しに来てください。
Got it. Arigato gozaimasu.
線の固定もなんとかなりそうですね。
アンテナ線の固定完了したっす。確認お願いします。
どれ、見せてみろ。
Kaisuke climbed the ladder to check on the cable. He was making sure that it wouldn't come loose when it pulled, or be blown off by the wind.
ひとまずアンテナ線は問題ないようです。あとはアンテナ次第になりますね。お二人も屋上に来て直接見て確認してください。
おお、アンテナが立ってる。
Does it look wobbly to you?
少し風で揺れてるけど、真ん中はしっかりしてるよ。ケーブルも、ちゃんとつながってる。
Alright, that settles the antenna as well. The H-shaped antenna stood proud and tall in the corner of the roof. I didn't really know what to look out for, but to be honest, so I only checked that it wouldn't fall over.
ご苦労様でした。きちんと受信できるかどうかは受信機が来てからになりますね。一応すぐに接続できるようにしておきましたので、届いたらそちらで確認してみてください。
Thank you, we'll handle that.
アンテナの角度と調整が必要になるかもしれません。その際には僕に連絡してください。すぐに駆けつけますので。
Got it, thank you. For everything, really. We really appreciate it.
僕らが役に立てるのが本当に嬉しいんです。ロブソニアの時は要となる主教を空見さんに任せっきりでしたから、これでいくらかは恩返しできたでしょうか。
I had no idea that was on Kaisuke's mind. And when we had built the Pleiades 1, we had a lot of help from the student at Noro High, just like today. Kaisuke had even agreed to oversee the entire process, so it was I who was in his debt, actually. We don't have to keep track of favors and all that.
そうだよ。コロナたち、ムツラボシの仲間なんだから。
Korona's words left me dumbfounded.
それもそうでしたね。仲間ですから。
Then Kaisuke gave us his brightest smile yet.
流星電波観測、楽しみにしてます。
After completing the antenna setup, Kaisuke and Kabanakajima packed up and left. Even though we were done too, Korona and I didn't feel like going, so we remained in the room.
秋に、なんかすごいことになってきちゃったね。
We only set up the antenna.
でも着実に進んでる感じがしてさ。コロナ、胸がいっぱいだよ。
She was still staring at the antenna cable outside the window.
流星電波観測、うまくいくかな。
Who knows? I don't think we'll succeed on the first try, but it had been the same thing with the Pleiades 1. From checking the primary mirror to the frame setup, it had all been so new to us, so we had kept figuring things out by trial and error. Who knows how long we took just to align the optical axis that first time. It's okay to fail. It's because of failure that success tastes so much sweeter.
そっか。そうだね。難しいからこそ 挑戦する価値があるから。
But now we have to wait for the receiver. Until it gets here, we can take a break.
待ち遠しいな。早く届いたらいいのに。
The sun had gone down, so I accompanied Korona on the way home.
わざわざ送ってくれなくても平気なのに。
But it's dark out.
コロナはアキ兄と一緒に帰れて嬉しいけど、バス代もったいないよ。
It's a necessary expenditure. The frugal life I used to lead seemed like a dream. When Korona was involved, I didn't care too much about what I spent.
ほら、さやちゃんとしてたみたいに、二人乗りでもよかったんだよ。
If the sun were still up, that'd be okay, but it's dangerous in the dark.
それもそっか。
Korona looked like she wanted to ride with me, but it was already nighttime, so she gave up.
そうだ。せっかくバス代使ったんだし、コロナの部屋に上がっていってよ。
Is it okay at this hour? Wouldn't I be intruding?
アキ兄なら大歓迎だって。それに、見せたいものもあるんだよね。
What is it?
それを見てのお楽しみ。でも超期待して OK だよ。きっとアキ兄大喜びだから。
We got off at the bus stop and walked for a while. It was nighttime, but there was nothing to fear with Korona by my side. Of course, with all this light, there was nothing to fear even if I was alone.
じゃじゃーん、ここがコロナの部屋だよ。
I'd been in Takeichi's room many times, but this was my first time in Korona's room.
どうどう？女の子っぽい？
Yeah, it's much prettier than I thought it'd be.
やった！アキ兄に褒められちゃった。
There were lots of trinkets and such, but what caught my eye was the number of books. There were a few comic books, but most of them were heavy encyclopedias and reference books. The kind with gorgeously illustrated dust colors. That's a lot of books.
お母さんがどんどん買ってくるんだ。もちろんコロナが買ったのもあるけど。
She took one from the shelf and flipped through its pages.
本を読むのは結構好きだよ。面白いし、家に一人でいても寂しくないし。
Take was always playing outside, I bet.
お母さんがお兄ちゃんみたいになっちゃダメって。だからあんまりお外で遊べなかったの。
Take was concerned about that too, you know.
お兄ちゃんが？うっそだ。
Korona didn't give her brother Takeichi much credit, apparently. Takeichi always seemed to hide his true feelings. I recalled how he always treated Korona coldly during their frequent clashes. It's true. I'm not kidding. He used to say all the time that you were amazing.
そうなんだ。でもお兄ちゃんいつもコロナに意地悪するもん。性悪だよ。
I won't deny that. I guess it was always like that when it came to siblings.
うーす、邪魔するぞ。
お兄ちゃん？なんで入ってくるの？シッシ。
Korona was very direct about trying to eject her trespassing brother. But Takeichi showed no sign that he'd hurt her. He just simply waltzed in. Hey, Taki, I'm just visiting.
わかってる。ほら、茶と茶菓子持ってきたぞ。
Takeichi carefully placed the tray before us. And yes, there was a tea set with snacks on it.
もうそういうのはコロナがやるから。ほら出てってねえ。
そういうわけにはいかねえ。これ、アキト、茶だ。飲め飲め。
Ignoring Korona's attempts to displace him, Takeichi tried to make me a cup of tea.
どうせお兄ちゃんまずい入れ方しかできないでしょ。コロナに貸して。
そうか？お前、姫さんとこで仕込まれてるらしいしな。
Without further ado, Takeichi relinquished control of the situation. But instead of exiting the room, he sat down on the carpet.
どうしてお兄ちゃんが。お茶飲むしね。
As she prepared the tea, Korona stared daggers at Takeichi. Don't be too mean to her, Taki.
意地悪じゃねえって。俺だってこんなの面倒なだけだ。母ちゃんの指示だよ。様子見とけって。ああ、うぜえ。
お母さんの命令なの？
そうだよ。 だから悪いがここにいさせてもらうぞ。
せっかくアキ兄と二人っきりになれると思ってたのに。
The absolute authority of Mom's orders was acknowledged by both of the Kusakabe siblings. Korona accepted her fate and stopped trying to chase Takeichi out.
はいアキ兄、美味しい紅茶が入りましたよ。
Thanks. It smells good.
ほのほの仕込みの紅茶なのです。
At my compliment, Korona broke into a silly grin.
おい、俺の分は。
水道水でも汲んでくれば。
お前な。
Sorry, could you make some tea for Taki too? He won't be satisfied with tap water.
はーい、アキ兄がそう言うなら喜んで。
たく、俺と扱いが違いすぎるだろ。
だってアキ兄は彼氏だもん。お兄ちゃんなんかとは大違いだよ。
Korona punctuated that statement by forcefully placing a cup of tea in front of Takeichi. Takeichi, who clearly didn't drink tea on a regular basis, looked confused. By the way, what did you want to show me?
そうそう、それがあったっけ。お兄ちゃんのせいですっかり忘れてたよ。じゃあコロナは準備してくるからちょっとだけここで待って。お兄ちゃん、コロナの代わりにアキ兄をおもてなししてていい？絶対だよ。
へいへい。
Waving his hand lifelessly, Takeichi saw his sister out of the room.
おもてなしって言われてなあ。
You don't have to do anything, I don't mind.
アキトならそう言ってくれると思ったよ。
With a bored look on his face, Takeichi started playing with his phone. He was already being forced by his mom to keep his company, so I wasn't going to inconvenience him further. We didn't even talk, time just went by. About 10 minutes had passed since Korona left the room.
アキ兄、お待たせ。じゃーん、どうコロナの格好。
I recognized Korona's outfit. It was the Maiku Academy's female uniform.
お母さん気が早くってね。この前作ったのが今日届いたの。
I see.
どうかな。似合ってる？
Yeah, it's cute on you, very cute.
アキ兄に一番に見せたかったんだよね。
Korona swished the hem of her skirt and posed as if she were part of a fashion show.
姫ちゃんみたいにおっぱい大きくないと似合わないかなって心配したけど、そんなことないみたい。いい感じ。
Korona turned this way and that, showing me all sides of her outfit.
おい、スカート押さえとけって。パンツ見えるじゃねえか。
In a panic, Korona pressed down her skirt. That was when she noticed Takeichi for the first time.
なんだ、お兄ちゃんいたんだ。
いたよ。っていうか気づけよ。
コロナ、アキ兄だけに見せるつもりだったんだけどな。
見て悪かったよ。もう見ないから好きにしていいぞ。
Takeichi moved away, turning his back to us.
これはどういうことなのかな。
俺のことはいないものとしてアキトとイチャコラしとけよ。俺がいなかったらそうするつもりだったんだろ。
アキ兄、どうする？
I can't really answer that. Even if he asked us to ignore him, it didn't change the fact that Takeichi was still right there.
角のイチャイチャはまずいってことで。
Korona shuffled over to my side.
これくらいだったらセーフだよね。
She suddenly placed her head on my knees. Korona?
アキ兄の膝枕だ。
I looked over at Takeichi, but it didn't look like he was going to say anything. I gave Korona a look of incredulity.
たまにはこういうのもいいよね。
Something about the interaction made me think of her as a little sister. There, there. I patted her on the head.
なでなでしてくれるんだ。
Might as well. Korona narrowed her eyes in content.
よくやるなお前。
The projectile cushion hit Takeichi right in the face.
痛えじゃねえか。
Korona played it cool, but of course Takeichi knew it was her.
てめえ。
Now, stay calm. Come on, Korona, apologize to your brother.
ごめんなさい。
She apologized all right, but there wasn't a hint of remorse in her voice.
たく面倒見きれねえ。アキトもよくこんなのと付き合う気になったな。
The Korona I know is sweet as an angel.
うっしゃ
And no flying off the handle like that.
ーは
Why was I mediating this brother-sister fight? Takeichi moved further away into a corner as if he didn't want anything more to do with us.
ーい邪魔者は消えたしもっとなでなでして
There, there. I was really spoiling her.
さすが秋にとろけちゃいそうだよ。ワンちゃんでなでテクを鍛えてるだけのことはあるね。
Korona's hair was light and bouncy. It felt so smooth, sort of like cat fur, and I wanted to keep petting it forever.
それそれそれ
Korona rubbed her cheek against my knees, visibly enjoying herself.
それそれコロナの匂い秋にいっぱいつけちゃおう。
Marking your territory, huh?
それそれ
Emboldened by Takeichi's silence, Korona dialed up the level of physical contact.
秋にもっといろいろ触ってほしいかも。
She took my hand and brought it toward her body.
お兄ちゃん見てないしチャンスよ。
No, he knows what's going on.
つまんないの。
I resumed patting at full speed so as not to spoil her mood.
ふう
Amid all the patting, Korona had fallen asleep. And Takeichi finally came back from his corner of the room.
なんだよ。寝ちまったのか？
She liked all that patting, I guess.
んじゃ、そろそろいいだろう。コロナをベッドに運んで撤収しろ。
I'm all for that, but... She was gripping the hem of my white shirt.
難儀だな。どうする？俺が叩き起こすか？
Nah. I'll just let her sleep like this for a while more. I don't mind getting home a bit late anyway. Korona was sleeping soundly, it seemed. She must have been tired out from the antenna setup today.
んじゃ、帰りたくなったら言えよ。なんとかしてやっから。
Thanks, Take.
こっちこそ、あんがとな。こいつの彼氏になってくれて。
As she lay there sleeping, Takeichi gave her a tender look. They fought all the time, but he was a good brother to her in the end. All right, let's get that photo. I took my phone out and snapped a picture of Korona's face.
あ、俺も撮っとこう。なるえちゃんに送ってやったら喜びそうだ。
Takeichi took a photo too and immediately sent it to Naru. Naru gets a kick out of things like this?
誰にも言うなよ。
I know, I know. We laughed quietly so we wouldn't wake Korona. It's here! The receiver is here. I thought it would arrive next week at the earliest, but I was pleasantly surprised. According to Hanukkah, there was little demand for HRO receivers, so production was entirely order-based. That's why it took more than a normal mail order item. Let's look at it and take a look inside. I opened the cardboard box. A small silver box lay inside, nestled in bubble wrap. So, this is an HRO receiver, huh? The design was really simple. It had a power switch and a volume dial, as well as ports for the antenna cable, audio output, and power adapter. We don't even need to set the frequency, huh? It was a machine designed solely for radio meteor observation, that was clear. The frequency was probably fixed at 53.750 megahertz. I'll connect the antenna cable first then. Huh? Where's the fun in rushing through it alone? In the excitement of getting the receiver, I wanted to set it up right away, but I came to my senses. I took out my phone and started typing. Hey, the HRO receiver's here. Gonna test it, so come on over.
すぐ行く。
I only sent the text to Korona, not the Six Stars Club group chat. I guess I should have invited everyone. But I wanted to share this joy with Korona first. She's taking her time, isn't she? Almost an hour had passed since her reply, but there was still no sign of Korona. The afternoon sky was clear, but as evening neared, the clouds got more menacing. The sky was already covered in a thick layer of clouds. Doesn't look like it's rain. It'll rain at least. The weather forecast on my phone said it was going to be cloudy. There was only a 10% chance of rain, but clear skies were out of the question. Korona burst into the club room. From the way she was catching her breath, I could tell she was really rushed over here. Here, drink this and cool down. I gave her the bottle of tea I was about to open. Feeling human again, Korona took off her coat and sat down. But more importantly, what about your mom? I knew that dealing with Korona's mom was no joking matter. If you say so. I was worried because Korona had been all kind of all over the place lately. I'm fine. I just reread the explanation on the homepage. Here it is, delivered to the astronomy club this afternoon. I showed it to Korona. I think the word is compact. That's right. Limited functionality made things easier for us. We didn't need it for anything other than radio meteor observation. It's getting late, but if you're up for it, I was gonna hook it up to the antenna and test it out. Are you okay for time? Okay, then let's do this pronto. Kaisuke and Kawanakajina had already set up the antenna for us. We just had to insert the antenna cable, which was hanging from an opening in the upper window. Okay, it's connected. Let's test it without a computer first. Leaving the notebook PC on the desk, I connected the DC adapter to the receiver. The HRO receiver needed 12 volts DC, which the DC adapter provided by converting the normal 100 volt power wall from the wall. Plug the speakers into the audio terminal. If the antenna worked properly, we'd get the output in the form of a sound. Aside from the notebook, all necessary equipment was connected. We just had to turn on the receiver and adjust the volume. There was no sound. No, this is fine. Nonsense, you hear the static, don't you? Loosely speaking, it's called white noise. If you hear this, it means the connection is okay. That's what the explanation on the homepage had said. Looks like our first test is a success. It's okay, no need to rush things. Next, let's connect the computer. I turned off the receiver and plugged in the notebook. There were two kinds of audio output. One went into the notebook's audio terminal, the other was connected to the speakers as before. With that, we finished reconnecting all the cables. Okay, Korona, could you turn on the computer for me?
はーい。スイッチオン。
The notebook took a while to finish booting up. All that was left was to launch the program for stationary observation and adjust the volume.
じゃあ始めるよ。
Korona turned up the audio input volume. After a while, the white noise we heard earlier emerged from the notebook speakers.
同じになったね。
Now we just need to keep an eye on the observation program and wait for a reading.
楽しみだな。
We muted the notebook so that all audio output would come from the speakers. Amid the buzz of white noise, we waited for the meteors to fall. There was nothing to do. We quickly found ourselves just staring at the notebook screen.
ちゃんと動いてるみたいだね。
The program was updating its frequency over time, the graph in real time.
流星が通ったらここに表示されるんだよね。
はい。
どのくらい待てばいいんだろう。
Even without a meteor shower, there were always meteors in the sky. But their numbers were low, and some days there'd be close to none. They said we'd have to wait for an hour or so.
そんなに？
Sorry. I know you can't stay too late.
でもギリギリまで頑張るよ。
Korona's resolve was starting to fade. We had known from the start that this wasn't going to be much of a visual activity. But it was waiting around with nothing to do that was hard to take.
普通の天体観測だったら星空を見上げてるだけで楽しかったんだろうな。
Korona made a valid, if painful, point. In fact, seeing something and getting it right away made a huge difference. I understood why some people said stars had value in being seen. A sky full of stars moved people instantly. That's true, but look, it's cloudy outside. The sky was completely overcast, and there wasn't a star in the sky in sight.
星見えないね。
Korona sounded disappointed. The stars aren't visible, but these are ideal conditions for radio observation. Because of the clouds, we can't see the stars, but think about it, that's why we're doing radio observations, right?
そっか、そういうことか。目では見えないものを見たいから電波観測をしようとしたんだった。
The universe had many mysteries. And for us here on Earth, there were things that just couldn't be seen. That's why the Hubble Space Telescope was built. That's why huge parabolic antennas, all listening for the faintest radio waves from space, were built. They were all products of our desire to learn about things we couldn't see. Coincidentally, tonight's cloudy sky means that's why it's perfect for radio observation. For tonight, we didn't need to look at the sky. The antenna would serve as our eye. The radio waves it emitted would eventually hit a meteor and come back to us. That was the moment we were waiting for.
君見て。
There was some movement on the stationary observation program. After a few moments, we realized that the dots were stretching out horizontally.
線が表示されてるね。これが流星の反応なのかな。
That's probably an aircraft. Meteors didn't produce this response. Lines like this were made by slow-moving aircraft, apparently.
なんだ、飛行機か。つまんないの。
But we got a readout, so when a meteor comes, we're definitely going to see something. Let's wait a bit longer. Humans had exceptional eyes. Every time I looked in a telescope, I was surprised by the extent of our vision and our capacity to detect brightness. Even without equipment, we had the ability to look up at the night sky and see with the stars with our own eyes. But here we were, foregoing our eyes and waiting for faint radio waves. There was something indescribably romantic about the endeavor.
アキ兄、さっきはごめんね。焦っちゃって。
It's fine, I know how you feel. In my mind, I was shouting at the meteors to hurry up, but impatience never helped anything. Only the stars knew how long we had to wait.
一人だったらきっと待てなかっただろうね。でも、アキ兄がいるから、コロナはいくらだって待てるよ。
Korona leaned over and rested her shoulder on mine.
ヒーターつけてるのに寒いね。
Yeah, it is cold. The feeling of warmth, wanting to get closer. I sensed it too, so I gently put my arm around her shoulder.
通じちゃった。
You're easy to read.
わかりやすくしてるんだもん。
That itself was yet another clear sign. Leaning her whole body on me, Korona smiled and reached over. The clubroom was filled with the constant buzz of white noise, along with the sound of our breath and beating hearts.
アキ兄、
I heard it too. The sources online said that it sounded like a boom, but this was more like a high-pitched whine. Quickly, we looked at the screen. There was a faint sign. Just a few dots lightly etched into the graph.
今のがそうなのかな。流星の音。
Absolutely, that was a meteor. We joined hands and jumped in excitement. It was just a simple sound, nothing beautiful about it. But it was proof that a meteor had just passed by.
一瞬だったけどちゃんと聞こえたよ。
Me too, and I usually miss a lot of them during normal stargazing.
すごいね、すっごいね。
We didn't really know why we got so excited. Maybe it was because we realized it was possible to see even without using our eyes. Before that moment, I had my doubts. Even though so many people had actually done it and written about it, I still wasn't convinced. But in that moment, all my doubts had been erased.
まるで空がパーッと晴れ渡ったみたいだね。
Even with the thick clouds obscuring the sky, radio waves passed through them unhindered. The clouds over our minds lifted, and we were full of joy and relief.
アキ兄、ほらまた。
Whoa, we got another meteor. There was another high-pitched whine.
今度はさっきより長かったね。
Look at the screen, the graph's a bit longer too.
うわー、本当だ。
The display was just a few dots longer than the first response. Even so, we heard the difference in the sounds, and it was much clearer that way.
あの雲の向こうで流れ星が落ちたんだよ。
Yes, even though we can't see them.
流星群の時はもっともっとすっごいのかな。
The sounds will just keep coming, I'm sure.
楽しみだな。
And there will be more sounds, but you can also look forward to hearing long echoes.
1分くらい続いちゃうんだっけ。それってどんな流れ星なんだろう。コロナそんなすごいの見たことないよ。
Apparently, it wasn't the meteor itself that stayed in the sky, but the trail it left behind was what caused the long echoes. It all had to do with the deflection of radio waves, all of which was invisible to us.
アキ兄、まただよ、ほら。
The meteors were on a roll. This was the third whine of the evening. Korona was really getting into it.
コロナ、頑張ってよかったよ。こんなになるなんて思ってなかった。
But today was just a test, actually. The real aim is to collect data over a period of time.
しかもコロナたちのデータだけじゃないんだよね。全国からいっぱいデータが集まるんだよね。
Not the country, the world. Many amateur astronomers observed meteors by radio, apparently. There were a lot of people that shared their data with other people. The data collected within Japan would be sent out to the whole world by project representatives.
コロナがみんなの中の一人になるんだね。これって超すごいことだと思わない？どれだけいるかわかんない全員が仲間になるんだよ。
Maybe that's the real joy of radio observation. Yeah, that's what I thought. The number of astronomy fans kept dropping, so we were always looking for new ways to get astronomy fans together. The Six Stars Club had been created for that exact purpose. for people who shared a love of the stars to work together. But it only went so far as our neighborhood. It's a very small scale, but I feel like we've touched the edge of VLBI.
野辺山で観測してる人たちもきっとコロナたちと同じ気持ちなんだろうね。
So many people, and they were all connected. I was one person among them, and so was Korona. When we realized the magnitude of that fact, our excitement became irrepressible.
君コロナもう
I know, I feel the same way. Taking Korona's hand, I shared in the emotions that almost made her tremble.
こんなのダメだよ。こんなの知っちゃったらもうコロナ止められなくなっちゃう。
At that exact moment, Korona had taken the first step on a journey into the world of astronomy. Radio observation was an unorthodox gateway, but it was still one way of looking at the stars. And she did so with radio waves, not her eyes. There are some feelings we have only in things for we cannot see.
目に見えないからこそ通じることだってある。
Holding Korona's hand, I felt keenly the bond we shared with our unseen fellow astronomers. Our numerous friends who weren't here. With everyone's help, we were going to solve all the mysteries of the universe. Did you find something to lose yourself in?
今日が始まりできっとこれからも続いていく。コロナもう大丈夫だよ。大丈夫なんだから。5月5日午前1時。きれいに晴れ渡り、雲一つない夜空です。
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks to me like this is the place we should be stopping. The end of that scene there, it just seemed very, very climatic. In that I really got the feeling at the end there that Akito was right. Korona had found the thing that's going to get her and keep her interested in astronomy. A very key point to this particular walkthrough, I think. So let's stop here. I'm guessing we're going to be wrapping up here shortly. I'm thinking that the person who originally had me go through these walkthroughs is going to be correct, and that this particular walkthrough is going to be a little shorter than the others. But so far, so good. I've liked it. So I'm looking forward to finishing up here in the next video, and that's it for now. I'm 2Athamar7 of www.NotToTimCurryStudios saying so long, farewell.